access will govern the future of the Internet. It's about when and how. It also signals a change from defense to offense for the backers of an open net. Arguably, the biggest, most effective online organizing campaign ever conducted on a media issue can now turn to passing good laws rather than always having to fight to block bad ones. Just this week, Senator Byron Dorgan, a Democrat, and Senator Olympia Snowe, a Republican, introduced the Internet Freedom Preservation Act of 2007 to require fair and equitable access to all content. And over in the House, that champion of the public interest, Ed Markey, is once again standing there waiting to press the battle. But a caveat here, those other folks don't give up so easy. Remember, this agreement is only for 2 years, and they'll be back with all the lobbyist money can hire. As the Washington Post follows George Bush into the black hole of Baghdad, the press in Washington won't be covering many stories like this because of priorities. Furthermore, caveat, consider what AT&T got in the bargain. For giving up on neutrality, it got the green light from government to dominate over 67 million phone lines in 22 states, almost 12 million broadband users, and total control over Singular Wireless, the country's largest mobile phone company with 58 million cell phone users. It's as if China swallowed India. I bring this up for a reason. Big media is ravenous. It never gets enough, always wants more, and it will stop at nothing to get it. These conglomerates are an empire, and they are imperial. Last week on his website, MediaChannel.org, Danny Schechter recalled how some years ago he marched with a band of media activists to the headquarters of all the big media companies concentrated in the Times Square area. Their formidable buildings, fronted with logos and limos and guarded by rent-a-cops, projected their power and prestige. Danny and his cohorts chanted and held up signs calling for honest news and an end to exploitative programming. They called for diversity and access for more perspectives. It felt good, Danny said, but it seemed like a fool's errand. We were ignored, patronized, and marginalized. We couldn't shake their edifices or influence their holy business models. We seemed to many like that lonely and forlorn nut in a New Yorker cartoon carrying an "End of the World is Near" placard. Well, yes, my friends, that is exactly how they want you to feel. As if media and democracy is a fool's errand. To his credit, Danny didn't give up. He's never given up. Neither have some of the earlier pioneers in this movement, Andy Schwartzman, Don Hazen, Jeff Chester. I confess that I came very close not to making this speech today, in favor of just getting up here and reading from this book, Digital Destiny, by my friend and co-conspirator, Jeff Chester. Take my word for it. Make this your Bible until McChesney's new book comes out. As Don Hazen writes in his review on Alternet this week, it's a terrific book, a respectful, loving, fresh, intimate conversation, comprehensive history of the struggles for a democratic media, the lost fights, the opportunities missed, and the small victories that have kept the corporate media system from having complete carte blanche over the communications channels. It's also a terrifying book because Jeff describes how we are being shadowed online by a slew of software digital gumshoes working for Madison Avenue. Our movements in cyberspace are closely tracked and analyzed, and interactive advertising infiltrates our unconsciousness to promote the brand washing of America. Jeff asked the hard questions. How do we really want television? Do we really want television sets that monitor what we watch? Or an internet that knows what sites we visit and reports back to advertising companies? Do we really want a media system designed mainly for Madison Avenue? But this is a hopeful book. After scaring the bejeepers out of us, as one reviewer wrote, Jeff offers a policy agenda for the broadband era. Here's a man who practices what the Italian philosopher Gramsci called the pessimism of the intellect and the optimism of the will. He sees the world as it is, without rose-colored glasses and tries to change it despite what he knows. So you'll find here the core of the movement's mission. You'll agree with much and disagree with some, but that's what a reform movement is about. Media reform, yes. But the Project in Excellence concluded in its State of the Media report for 2006, quote, "At many old media companies, though not at all, the decades-long battle at the top between idealists and accountants is now over. The idealists have lost. The commercial networks are lost too, lost to silliness, farce, cowardice, and ideology. Not much hope there. You can't raise the dead. Policy reform, yes, but, says Jeff, we will likely see more consolidation of ownership with newspaper, TV stations, and major online properties in fewer hands. So he says we have to find other ways to ensure the public has access to diverse, independent, and credible sources of information. That means going to the market to find support for stronger independent media. Michael Moore and others have proven that progressivism doesn't have to equal penury. It means helping protect news gathering from predatory forces. It means fighting for more participatory media, hospitable to a full range of expression. It means building on Lawrence Lessig's notion of the creative common and Brewster Kahl's Internet archives with its philosophy of universal access to all knowledge. It means bringing broadband service to those many millions of Americans too poor to participate so far in the digital revolution. It means ownership and participation for people of color and women. And let me tell you, it means reclaiming public broadcasting and restoring it to its original feisty, robust, fearless mission as an alternative to the dominant media, offering journalism you can't afford and can trust, public affairs of which you're a part, and a wide range of civic and cultural discourse that leaves no one out. You can have an impact here. For one thing, we need to remind people that the federal commitment to public broadcasting in this country is about $1.50 per capita compared to $28 to $85 per capita in other democracies. Meanwhile, be vigilant about the congressional rewrite of the Telecommunications Act that is beginning as we speak. Track it day by day and post what you learn far and wide. Because the decisions made in this session of Congress will affect the future of all media, corporate and non-commercial, and if we lose the future now, we'll never get it back. So you have your work cut out for you. I'm glad you're all younger than me and up to it. I'm glad so many funders are here, because while an army may move on its stomach, this movement requires hard, cold cash to compete with big media in getting the attention of Congress and the people. I'll try to do my part. Last time we were together, I said to you that I should put my detractors on notice. They might just compel me out of the rocking chair and back into the anchor chair. Well, in April, I will be back with a new weekly series called Bill Moyers' Journal. And thanks to some of the funders in this room. I hope to compliment. We'll take no money from public broadcasting because it compromises you even when you don't intend it to, or they don't intend it to. I hope to compliment the fine work of colleagues like David Boncaccio of Now and David Fanning of Frontline, who also go for the truth behind the news. But I don't want to tease you. I'm not coming back because of my detractors. I wouldn't torture them that way. I'll leave that to Dick Cheney. I'm coming back because it's what I do best, because I believe television can still signify, and I don't want you to feel so alone. I'll keep an eye on your work. You are to America what the abolition movement was, and the suffragette movement, and the civil rights movement. You touch the soul of democracy. It's not assured you'll succeed in this fight. The armies of the Lord are up against mighty hosts. But as the spiritual sojourner Thomas Merton wrote to an